Hello, I am Dr. Swastik and I welcome you to this course of Indian Polity on Central Government. In this course, we are comprehensively covering the portion of Indian polity demanded for UPSC, state PSCs and other competitive exams. In this course, we will be covering the President, Vice President, Prime Minister, Council of Ministers, Parliament and Supreme Court. In our last lesson, we have covered the President, powers of President and Vice President. In this lesson, we will cover the Prime Minister. So in this lesson, we will cover the Prime Minister, Article 75 and appointment of Prime Minister, term of office, powers and functions of the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister and Prime Minister's office. So little bit about me, you can follow me on social media platforms, links are below in the description. So let's start. In our last lessons, we have discussed that the President is the nominal executive authority and the Prime Minister is the real executive. In other words, the President is the de jure executive and the Prime Minister is the de facto executive. So Article 75 deals with the appointment of the Prime Minister. It provides that the Prime Minister shall be appointed by the President. By conventional practice, the President has to appoint the leader of majority party in the Lok Sabha as the Prime Minister. However, in case no single party enjoys an absolute majority in the House, the President may use his discretion in selection and appointment of the Prime Minister. In such a case, the President usually appoints the leader of largest party or coalition in the Lok Sabha as the Prime Minister and asks him to seek vote of confidence in the House. Coming to Article 75 of the Indian Constitution, this deals with appointment of the Prime Minister and other Council of Ministers. This says the Prime Minister shall be appointed by the President and other ministers shall be appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. The ministers shall hold the office during pleasure of the President. The Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the House of People or Lok Sabha. The Supreme Court of India in 1997 held that a person who is not a member of either House of the Parliament can be appointed as the Prime Minister provided he gets elected to one of the Houses of the Parliament within 6 months. Another article that deals with Prime Minister is Article 74. It says there shall be a Council of Ministers with the Prime Minister at the head to aid and advise the President. The President may require the Council of Ministers to reconsider such advice and the President shall act in accordance with the advice tendered after such reconsideration. However, the advice tendered by the ministers to the President shall not be inquired into any court of law. Coming to the term of office, the term of Prime Minister is not fixed. He holds office during pleasure of the President. As long as the Prime Minister enjoys majority support in the Lok Sabha, he cannot be dismissed by the President. However, if he loses the confidence of Lok Sabha, he must resign or the President can dismiss him. When the Prime Minister in office dies and there is no obvious successor, the President exercises his individual judgment in selection and appointment of the Prime Minister. However, if the ruling party elects a new leader, the President has no choice but to appoint him as the Prime Minister. Coming to powers and functions of the Prime Minister, the powers and functions of the Prime Minister can be studied in relation to Council of Ministers, in relation to President and in relation to Parliament. So in relation to the Council of Ministers, he recommends persons who can be appointed as ministers by the President. The President can appoint only those persons as ministers who are recommended by the Prime Minister. He allocates and reshuffles various portfolios among the ministers. He can ask a minister to resign or advise the President to dismiss him in case of any difference in opinion. He presides over the meeting of Council of Ministers. He guides, directs, controls and coordinates the activities of all the ministers. He can bring about the collapse of Council of Ministers by resigning from his office. Resignation or death of an incumbent Prime Minister automatically dissolves the Council of Ministers. Coming to powers and functions in relation to the President. The Prime Minister is the principal channel of communication between the President and Council of Ministers. Article 78 says it is the duty of the Prime Minister to communicate to the President all decisions of the Council of Ministers relating to administration of the affairs of the Union and proposals for legislation. To furnish such information relating to the administration of affairs of the Union and proposals for legislation as the President may call for. And if the President so requires, to submit for the consideration of Council of Ministers any matter on which a decision has been taken by a minister but which has not been considered by the Council. Also, he advises the President with regard to appointment of important officials like Attorney General of India, the CAG, Chairman and members of UPSC, Election Commissioners, Chairman and members of Finance Commission, and so on. In relation to the Parliament, the Prime Minister is the leader of lower house or the Lok Sabha. In this capacity, he advises the President with regard to summoning and proroguing of the sessions of the Parliament. He can recommend dissolution of the Lok Sabha to the President at any time. He announces the government policies on the floor of the House. Also, he is the chairman of the Niti Aayog, the National Development Council, National Integration Council, Interstate Council, and National Water Resources Council. He plays a significant role in the foreign policy of the country. He is the chief spokesman of the Union government. He is the crisis manager in chief at political level during emergencies. Also, he is the leader of the party in power and he is the political head of the services. Coming to Deputy Prime Minister, he is also a member of the cabinet. The Deputy Prime Minister post is not a constitutional post and seldom carries any specific powers. Generally, the Deputy Prime Minister also holds other key portfolios like Home Minister or Finance Minister. The Deputy Prime Minister is used by the government to bring political stability and strength by including a powerful individual or in times of national emergency when a proper chain of command is necessary. Coming to the Prime Minister's office or the PMO, PMO is the staff agency to the Prime Minister. The PMO is headed by Principal Secretary. The PMO is a non-constitutional and non-statutory body. This provides secretarial assistance and crucial advice to the Prime Minister. Allocation of Business Rule 1961 has given the PMO the status of a department. The PMO has no attached or subordinate office under it. So that's all for this lesson. Thank you and have a nice day.